No, Act 2 has not finished yet. And depending on how long of Act 2 I have left, this is either going to be a really long stream or a really short one. Actually, no, it'd either be a decently short one, not a really short one. If there's only like one part left of Act 2, I'll go into Act 3, but if there's like 3 parts left, then I will finish when we get to Act 3. You know. You know. But yeah, thankfully, I ran out of alcohol yesterday, so I don't have to do any drinking today. The only drinking I'm going to be doing is drinking water. Which arguably tastes worse. I should probably make ice cubes sometime soon. It is getting warmer here. Okay, that's the 2-minute mark. Hang on. Boo. Yep. Act 2. Part 9. 11? 9? 11. No, yeah, that's 11, right? Because it's a 1 after 10, and so it's 11, which is 1 after 9th of the astral moon. Yeah, 11. Whose voice do I have to remember? It's Clay! Clay. Good morning. Good morning, Clay. Did you sleep well? I did. Took ages for you to fall asleep. I was too excited to think about our adventure. I like Clay. Clay's fun. But I slept really well. Happy to hear that, Clay. Tia, did you sleep at all? She passed out right after she had some soup. I hoped that Lady Cassiopeia would send me signs for my divine mission in my dreams. And did she? I don't remember. Good job. Good job. Sounds like you slept well, then. Anyhow, I see you had time to prepare a quest. Wonderful. Let's get started. Okay, slow down, one step at a time. Firstly, do you know where you're going? Secondly, do you want to drink? Oh yeah, Cleo was looking forward to some soup. Can't I have some soup? I hope you like lentils. I can take them or leave them. I have some with your purple friend and told him to keep an eye on it. Purple friend? I don't think I have a purple friend yet. Oh, Andu. I hope Andu enjoyed the soup then. I'm not getting any of that soup. Thanks for feeding Andu. Of course. Did you two enjoy your soup? Very much. Clay is quite the talented chef, even though eating it did make me very tired. I see those blushes, Tia. And Tia is a very good cooking companion. It took a while to make, so we had a lot of time to talk. Yeah, talking. What you talk about? Friendship bracelets, I hope. Not quite. Many things. Like, I thought it'd be fun to make her niece one of the little dolls my granny taught me to make. She wants me flower dresses and mini axes. I don't have any siblings or cousins, but Tia said she's gonna make little star lamps for my parents' garden. Is that so? He offered to cook for my family. I'm moving my mic closer, because of reasons. I can't offer to cook for his. My cooking skills are unimportant to my destiny. That's one way of putting it. But I thought if I were to visit, it would be appropriate to bring some sort of thank you gift. Ah, so they're already moving on to visiting each other's parents. Oh, so they're up. No, I'm not gonna make. They're allowed to be friends. And who wouldn't want some stars in their garden? Especially now. Oh, right, yeah. Stars are still on the ground and not in the sky. That sounds lovely. Have you ever visited the Highlands before? No, not thus far, though I've always wanted to. Our snow dragon building competitions are famous. Snow dragon? I want to go to one. I won't be able to build a snow dragon, but I want to see the snow dragons. Never heard of those. Oh. Do sound intriguing. They do. When I was young, one of my favorite stories Elysian told me about was that the Elysian told me it was that of the ever-burning flame. It is said to have been a gift from Leviathan to the first mortals. Along with it, he bestowed the power of elemental manipulation upon his chosen. I vaguely recall there being another version where the Guardian stole a flame. Blasphemous hearsay is all that is. We should be thankful for the gifts he has given us. Or thankful to those who stole it from them. I've always wanted to pay my respects to the flame. It just happens to still be burning in an ancient temple in the Highlands, keeping the hope of Asteria alive for eternity. So I'm looking forward to seeing it in person sooner rather than later, and with a local guide no less. Interesting. Is that a new rumor? Oh, hang on. Huh. Oh, this is separate. I didn't read those, clearly. But, Great sword from the dragons. First flame from Leviathan, who is a dragon, I'm assuming. I think. I've never visited before, but I once went to Autumn Festival in Verika. You can see the temple from there. But that low voice makes me yawn quite a bit, and I don't know why. The Autumn Glow Festival? What's that about? I'm sure he can tell you about it another time. Please, let's get back to the quest. You're right. Let's continue. This is an important quest. Because the stars fell from the fucking sky. Now, the quest. Of course. So I'm assuming you're going together. Unfortunately, I was going to go alone, but Clay insisted on coming along. Why is that unfortunate? It's a very dangerous quest. He's not practiced in the ways of a divine warrior. Oh, I'm yawning again. Could you imagine if he tried to befriend some bleak stalkers? It'd make for a fun story, I think. But if you really want to do this alone, you could just go by yourself. Who would make her soup then? Exactly. I see what's happening here. That makes sense. Plus, I need to meet those bleak stalkers. I've never seen any before, and I can't wait to find out what they like to eat. You. They like to eat you. Only if they're hungry. Could you at least try to be reasonable? I am.
Local creatures can be very helpful. I know they can be dangerous too, of course. It's important to have your guard up so you can defend yourself if they're scared. Generally, if you approach anything non-violently, they'll like you more. Maybe the innkeeper can give us some extra charisma too, so we can convince them to help us out.
I could offer you some honey flowers as well. They can be very inspiring, even to bleak stalkers. I think so, at least. I've never tested that one out, actually.
We could test it for you.
Nonsense. We need to head into this knowing we'll have to fight our way through. The name Bleak Stalkers doesn't exactly inspire confidence in their hospitality. Not to mention there could very well be many more dangerous monsters roaming the abandoned Everbloom. We need to refresh our strength and hope that our mortal weapons will be enough to damage them. If that's of concern, I could offer you some citron. It's infused with divine properties that will bless your weapon strikes. With a little help from the dragons, no creature should be able to withstand you, no matter how bleak. Citron can only be found deep within the Forbidden Valley. How would you even would you even have access to that? Oh, you know, ways. No, I don't. Anyway, I think both of your strategies could work. Strength and Citron will let you fight your way through any danger in no time. The right mix of defense, charisma, and honey flowers might offer a more unconventional situation.
You help us decide. I don't want to argue.
Sure. Sorry, I'm thinking about this. So, you think about this from character perspectives. Tia could, maybe benefit from learning to take the peaceful route through certain counters, but maybe you could consider Clay a bit too naive, and, giving them strength to fight through could possibly help. And again, I do seem to be going a sort of pacifist route this playthrough. Oh, go on then. We'll get the defense.
Which one is the defense? The Frosted Lagoon? That is one charisma, maybe two.
What about the, defense and dexterity? Let's go to the Frosted Lagoon. Right, they did want inspiration, right? Yeah, they wanted inspiration. And so I just add 3 bits of defense. Right, and a little bit of oh, no, I can't use that infusion, apparently. Interesting. Hang on. I want to have all of that. Thank you. Okay, so the infusion that I need is either increased brains and decreased defense, or increase to charisma and dex, but decrease to strength. What about the first snow? First snow could help. Yeah, I think the first snow is the correct option here. There we go. And we also do need to feed Andu some intellect. No, he's wagging his little tail. He's a silly little guy. It's 5 PM. I shouldn't be this tired. Although I did wake up at like 7:30 for some reason. Who knows why? Ding! I would love to hear the story about you befriending those bleak stalkers, and it also has plenty of defense, so you won't die from it. Or at the very least, how their teeth were no match against your armor. Or your pecs. Sorry, I'm just actually looking for those the first time. That is chiseled. But it worked well for you last time, Tia. Let's hope I'll be lucky again. Fine. I trust your judgment, Innkeeper. Good. You should.
Oh, thanks for your help, Innkeeper. But we should get going now.
Indeed. Wait, why are you in such a hurry?
Well, yesterday I met Fable at the farmer's market, and they helped me pick out the right vegetables for the soup. And they invited me to their barbecue on the 31st of Cassiopeia. So we need to make it back in time for that.
You can always leave early if it takes too long.
And what about you?
What about me?
You're also coming.
I have work.
You also have to eat.
Saving the world is bound to make you hungry. You might even have fun. Who knows? I will consider it. Let's hurry then.
Let's. Innkeeper, can you let Fable know we'll be back in time?
I'll let them know as soon as they grace my tavern with their presence again.
Oh yeah, Grace should know too. I think she's bringing her famous fortune nuggets.
Which one's Grace? Hang on. I don't remember a Grace. Oh, Grace! Right. Older sister to Hex. No, younger sister to Hex. Right, Grace. Gotcha. I'll tell her as well. I wish you for a successful quest. It shall be so.
See you soon.
Yeah, see ya. Archie. Greetings, Innkeeper. Hello, Archie. Good to see you again. It's always a delight to be here. It makes me feel like I'm a part of something bigger already. I'm glad to hear that. Speaking of which, were you able to help the farmers out? Oh yes, talking to Fable was truly inspiring. They were so right. The farmers really had no interest in gold or other riches. So instead, I helped them with reconstructing their land, barns, and houses. With my own 2 hands. I even got some blisters from it. Remnants of my first ever heroic deed. Very exciting and painful. Now that I think about it. Do you have a recipe for a drink that could help out in this specific situation? I want to be able to help every single farmer with ease. I want to lift their heaviest logs and steel the most stubborn splinters. You're right, a drink like that is still missing from my recipe book. Although, like, anything with 3 strength seems to be what you're looking for. Or, like, 3 strength, 2 defense. Just, you know, to help against the splinters. Let me think of something. Oh, thank you dearly. When I was making my way to your tavern, I walked past an astounding duo of adventurers. A stunning seraph and a massive half-giant. They were so utterly impressive. I aspire to be like them someday. It feels like I'm in a book,
like I delved headfirst into one of those stories on my bookshelf. Magic and adventures surrounding me with every step, and unknown lurking dangers in the shadows. This is all so exciting. But now I'm just daydreaming. I originally came here seeking one of your magical drinks. Of course. What would you like? Preferably something that'll help me defend myself from devious dangers, like splinters in my hand. Drink I had last time did. Well, I presume it did something, but those splinters were a real nuisance, I'll tell you that. I got it. Don't worry. 3 defense. Ah. Steel tonic. You're going to need an infusion with this. Such as that. Not that. Definitely not that. Maybe. Probably not. Definitely not. Okay, so if I add... no, that also adds charisma, and can't use charisma. It would have to be the magical D20s. And we get a little bit of dex. And then we add an extra drop of strength. And then just a whole bunch of defense. Ta-da! A steel tonic. Ding! A new drink just for you. Protection against your arch nemesis, splinters. Here you go. I can already feel my skin getting tougher. Helping people grow calluses is my secret party trick. Maybe I should bring my friend here someday. Your drink mixing magic is quite peculiar, really. Oh, your friend? Is he also from Windmore? That is correct. I've known him since we were kids. Mostly due to our parents being of similar wealth and influence. I think we were kind of chosen to be friends. We decided to write each other's letters when he's not here in Zenith. He's actually in a kind of dire situation right now. You see, he's a diplomat, deeply involved in the whole Diria mainland negotiations. Due to him nearly getting kidnapped during his first business trip to Diria, he decided to fire his entire personal security crew. If you ask me, his reaction was a little over the top, but I don't interfere with his decisions, so... Now he doesn't have any bodyguards, and I would like to help him. But honestly, I have no clue what I should do. He definitely doesn't need my money, just like the farmers didn't. He's got more than enough of it, as is. I mean, if you're brave... my voice. I mean, if you're brave enough, you could volunteer to be his bodyguard. Splendid idea! I like how you think, Innkeeper. But I don't know if I'd be strong enough, even with your magically infused drinks. He might need more protection than I could offer. Well, I still do the thing with the quests. Oh, you're right, I could just hang up a quest on your pinboard. And then some brave adventurers will offer to help us out. My friend means the world to me. I could never forgive myself if something happened to him. So you're looking for the best bodyguards in Zenith? Absolutely. Well, I have some folks in mind that are more than qualified enough to do the job. Let's just hope my quest writing skills are enough to attract the right people. You write a lot? No. Yes. Sometimes. He writes fanfic. Yeah. He writes fanfic. I love to write stories about cunning and courageous adventurers. Somehow they always manage to get out of the most dreadful situations by cheating death multiple times. That's, well, writing doesn't really fit the image of a heroic adventurer himself, does it? Why would I dream of other people's journeys if I could live the tales myself? Yeah, you got a fair point there.
Also, it's always easier to write about things you've experienced firsthand.
Absolutely. Oh, I can't wait to see my friend again and help him out.
I'll be more than prepared. Fable also offered to teach me how to use a bow.
How to say no to such an enticing offer, getting taught by the Fable of the Ashen Grove themselves. It's more than I could ever have dreamed of. They also mentioned another friend of theirs, an imposing Vuka King lady named Kialin. Do you know her by any chance?
Oh, Lynn? Yeah, I know her quite well, yeah. Yeah, she's a regular.
A regular? Oh, innkeeper, you're just full of surprises. This tavern is full of hidden treasures. Apparently, Lady Kialin is bored because her newest protege is on a mission and hasn't returned yet. So she'll be joining my training with Fable.
Oh, you're in for a ride. Please don't do it on my front lawn. It still hasn't recovered from Lynn's last training session.
Oh, thrilling! I nearly can't contain my excitement.
But for now, I've got to think of the right words for the job posting. Don't worry about that. Assembling quests for patrons is one of my services.
Really? That would be so helpful.
I gotcha. You'll have the perfect crew of bodyguards for your friend assembled in no time. Trust me.
Thank you so much. And also, thank you for the drink. Coming here is always a delightful source of inspiration.
I'm always happy to help.
Until then, innkeeper.
Yeah. See you next time, adventurer. Hello? I don't think I have a new voice for this one. Hey, how's it going? Hello, come on in. This is a cute little tavern, I'm not going to lie. Wasn't convinced from the outside, but the interior is really adorable. I'm glad. Are you more accustomed to more opulent exteriors? For sure. But I do enjoy the cozy feeling of a simple tavern. You know, it's good being away from the hustle and bustle of the big city sometimes. I get that. You new in town? I am. How did you know? It's been a while since I last saw a phantasm around here, that's all. I just took a guess. Ah, I see. I came just here straight from the capital. Just needed a moment to breathe. You get me? Oh, I do. That's why I settled here on the outskirts of Zenith. Town is big enough for me to never run out of work, but small enough to not feel overwhelmed. Yeah, exactly. So you run this business, innkeep? Correct. Just me. Hey. Not that surprising that I do stuff. Just me, my familiar, and this tavern, and I guess the regulars that come here, I guess. Of course. And with whom do I have the pleasure today? Perhaps one of my next regulars? Who knows? Maybe. The name's Voyage, but you may call me Voy. Okay. Alright. Got it. Please stop blowing kisses at me. What can I do for you today? Well, I mean, a drink would be the way to go, I suppose. Wait. Don't tell me you haven't heard of me. Yeah, not yet, I'm afraid. I suppose I should have. I'm the Voy, the famous bard. Ring any bells? Nope. Well, I guess you'll have to get to know me then. And what better way to do so than with a fine drink made by the finest innkeeper? You're a real sweet talker, aren't you? I guess I am. Yeah. There's something specific you would like? No. Surprise me that something that will make me even more irresistible, like a real Prince Charming. Alright, charisma up. Let's just get you a spoken heart. Little bit of strength. Ta-da! May this drink give you an untwistable silver tongue. Oh, this is good. Nearly as good as my musical talent. I have a feeling this drink might influence your next performance. Will it boost my charisma even further? You'll have to wait and see, mate. Let's just say you might want to come back afterwards to get another drink. Oh, now you're teasing me. How about you tell me more about you now? Didn't you want me to get you to know you better? Hold on tight to your counter, innkeeper, because I'm about to knock your socks off. Alright, surprise me. So, right in front of you is the one and only Voy. Traveler of the lands, stealer of hearts, and the most famous bard in all of Fazoa. Not only because of his immaculate talent, but also because of his good looks, I might add. I'm fairly impressed. Of course you are. Might ask for an autograph later then. But what brings you here, boy? As I said, I just needed a breath of fresh air. A short break from the big city. Is it hard being famous? I wouldn't know. No, not really, no. Maybe a little. Sometimes. And making music and performing is my job, and I absolutely love it. So it's not a big deal, really. It just makes me cherish the quieter moments. Makes sense to me. Would it be cool if I kept you in your little familiar company for a bit? I guess. Not much else around here. Make yourself at home. Nice. You were here for a while. Quincy! Hello there, traveler. What can I get you? This is a TikToker who does fantasy tavern stuff. I can't do an impression of their voice. Usually it's my role to ask that, but given the circumstances, I'll humor you. Ah! Sorry. I was messing with my mic. Well, this is my tavern. It has come a long way. Love the color of the walls. A new coat? It's been a good few years since my last renovation. But, yeah, I thought it was time to accept some change into my life. Thought so. What is life if not a constant changing of the self? How I missed your endless wisdom, Quincy. I can only imagine, innkeeper. You look like you might be in need of a refreshment. How about a drink? Yeah, long journey. Surprise me with something as charismatic as your little establishment. Charisma 3. You can get something other than the Bogan Heart. Because I said so. Inspiration, 3 bits of charisma, 1, 2, 3, and a little bit of dex to top it off. Voila, a sunny breeze. Here you go, liquid charisma. My speciality. And no, it's not alcohol canonically. This tastes magical. Seems like you've improved a good deal since last time. Practice makes perfect after all. Indeed. So what brings you to this corner of the world? Ah, I'm looking for the feathers of a peculiar little bird. They're said to only reside in this neighborhood. Or continent, rather. What bird? The golden loon. Oh, I have some golden feathers. There's one in your drink right now, I believe. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but the golden loon? They're quite beautiful to behold. If I were you, I'd look for them near a big lake. That's where they usually hang out. But only in the summer. Hence why I came all this way. Oh, plumage of gold, glistening in the lights of day, a traveller's bold. That would be a very poetic way to greet them. Tell that to the stupid Song of Bigger Guild. They didn't like it. Oh, they don't like anything that isn't mainstream. Like subtext. Isn't that what lyrical works are all about? Pouring your heart and soul into something others to take in? And if you push away the layers and read between the lines, you'll find the true meaning. Exactly my thinking. It's just that now I'm afraid that they'd laugh at me. Remember me as a bard without a heart, all because they don't understand. You know, there's nothing wrong with being afraid. Fear can sometimes keep us safe from danger. But sometimes keep in mind, or something that to keep in mind, that fear does not stop death, it stops life. You enjoy your art? Yeah, and I want others to enjoy it too. I, for one, greatly enjoyed your Golden Loon haiku. Me too. Aw, innkeeper, thank you. Quincy, I'm sure he's just being a little bitch and doesn't mean it. You shouldn't base your value on whether people like what you create or not. There'll always be those who don't get it, and those who find themselves in it. Do it for the people who appreciate your art. But most importantly, do it for yourself. That's one way to look at it. You know, I imagine this all so differently. Way easier, for sure. Moving from Dragorin, the smallest of towns, to the big city. I always dreamt of joining the SOV guild. Then they promptly rejected me. But I'm Voyage, and I don't give up because of little things like that. I don't need a guild to get out there and share my music. All I need is me and my Hegyum. That's right. I've seen so many people spend too much time give attention to those who will never understand them. My 2 cents? Live for what you believe in, and allow others to make their own decisions. That's what I'm doing. Good. But, unfortunately, I have to leave now. Gotta find those loons before it gets dark. It was nice having you around, Quincy. Until next time. And don't forget, take care of yourself, innkeeper. And be safe out there, Voyage. You too. Nice guy. Yeah, he's an old friend. Didn't know you do friends. Perhaps we could be friends too, innkeeper. Not yet. Slow the fuck down. Oh. Maybe one day. But not now. Ah, the moon. Oh fuck, hello Una. I'll come back. Wait, innkeep. Your strongest drink. This is an emergency. What happened? Oh, fire! It's absolutely urgent. Relationships are on the line. Not lives? Listen, Inkeep, I'll tell you a story, don't worry. But you gotta be a little patient, because Baia really needs a drink first. Yeah. Please. What do you need? Same as last time? Oh, that one was really delicious. I'd love to taste it again. Please. Got it. I'll make you feel something that will make you feel as agile as a spider again. Why agile as a spider? I don't know. Why can't it be as agile as a fox? I suppose spiders are probably a better point of comparison for a swamp witch, because I don't think foxes are going to be native to swamps, really. I don't know enough about foxes or swamps. Ding. There you go, my strongest drink to the rescue. Thank you. This is... good. Oh, thank the dragons, that pause make me so nervous. I really thought he would mess it up. Thanks for having so much faith in me, Una. You're welcome. But, are you feeling better now? Yeah, at least a little bit. That's good to hear. Please, fill me in on the situation now. I've never seen you this upset, Baia, and you have to endure the Bloom Tide Festival every year. You're right. So, I have this group of friends. The girlfriend. We three have been inseparable. At least a few centuries. But now... Very insensitive to ask an emotionally vulnerable and sweet girl what's troubling her, innkeeper. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude, I just want to help. It's okay. How about I tell him what's going on, Baia? So you don't have to strain yourself. Thank you. Okay, so, Sweet Baia over here had a long-lasting group of friends, right? Right. They're a trio, inseparable for at least a few hundred years. And they're an adorable trio, might I add, the Swamp Monster, the Banshee, and the Mary Morgan. Aye, yes, the Mary Morgan, the wrathful spirit that is known to drown men. I've heard she doesn't really differentiate between genders, though. Yep, that's right. Anyway, the Mary Morgan and the Banshee are a couple. So I figured. I've been for a while. I recall them coming by once or twice. But right now, how should I put it? They're in a domestic dispute. For some reason, the two have completely stopped talking to each other. They even refuse to show up to Baia's monthly tea parties, insisting they'll only come if the other isn't invited. Why? I don't know. It's like they don't like each other anymore. And soon they won't like me anymore either. It does smell like a breakup. Let's not catastrophize. I don't want my friend group to fall apart. People have always left me because I scare them. I don't want them to leave me too. Now, I'm sure they won't. Say something, Innkeeper. Don't worry, Baia. We'll work this out. They've been together for so long, they must have already solved numerous arguments. They'll get through this one too. He's right, they've been through worse. But what if he's wrong? What if they do break up? What if they really leave me? I just wish there was something I could do to help them. If I might just add my 2 cents real quick. Hi, I'm Voy. That's short for Voyage. You might have heard of me before. I'm pretty famous. Oh. My ringing bell, sorry. Anyway. So, Baya, that's your name, right? What's keeping you from getting to know other people? Like, you seem really chill. Well, usually everyone's afraid of me. But the innkeeper's always been nice to me. I trust them. And I've known Una for a while now. Didn't she pick endangered flowers from your backyard last time you met? Yeah. The bouquet was really cute. I know, right? You meet a lot of people when you travel across the lands, looking for potential clients and work. And honestly, I've seen stranger creatures than her in my years of it as an adventurer. I was also really cute under all that moss and kelp. Oh. Well, now I want to see. I mean, you might look a little terrifying, that's true. But maybe you just have to figure out how to get through to people. I'm sure they'd want to be your friends. I don't know about that. Usually they try to burn me. Luckily, I don't scar easily. Ooh, what a nice metaphor. Might have to use that in a new song if you don't mind. People hurting you over and over again just because they're afraid. Exes leaving you. You always manage to get over them. It's not a metaphor. Once every few moons, people surround me with torches and pitchforks. Oh. Ah, well, that's unfortunate. You don't say, kid. But honestly, I know how you feel. Sometimes facing people is terrifying when you feel so different. There's always something to love about everyone, like my handsome smile or enchanting voice. Maybe people would enjoy my spa. You want a spa? That's fantastic. Yeah. You should come visit sometime. Boy, that's short for voyage. Just boy is fine. Do you want to come too, nah? I'd love to, yes. There's nothing more soothing for old bones than a nice swamp bath. Do you get a lot of customers? None. Maybe I can change that. Let me advertise your spa at my next performance. I would love that. Thank you. No worries, buyer. Let's get back to your girlfriends. Innkeep, don't you know someone that could help them out? This situation is kind of tricky. They might need a mediator. I can absolutely hang up a quest for you if you want. That would be great. Thank you so much. Of course, making my patrons happy is part of the job. Now who's the sweet talker, huh? But now I have to wait, right? Yeah, unfortunately. How about you show us around the spa in the meantime? It would Be my pleasure. And once we're back, there'll be a solution for your two friends. No pressure. There's a millennium-long relationship on the line. Remember that. Absolutely no pressure. I'll see what I can do. Thank you.
See you then, Inkeep.
Yeah, see ya. Oh, I can't wait to see how smooth my skin is after a mud mask. I think I can take my crochet hook with me. Maybe. Yep. Right, quests. Right, the Dyrian bodyguards. Dyria is unsafe. There's a collapsed canal bridge, and a diplomat is looking for bodyguards. Fatal Company. A bit like Lethal Company. That's probably nothing. Political tension ensued when a canal bridge connecting Dyria to the mainland collapsed, especially because spinal rhinos can't exactly be held responsible. The ambassador tasked with solving this mess is a young noble, and his worried best friend insists he is in dire need of a new personal guard, especially since the roads are unsafe for travelers lately. If those travelers are cattle. Anyway, the Banshee from the Lonesome Lagoon and the Mary Morrigan from the riverbanks of the Shivermere, they're a loving couple, but it seems they're in a bit of a fight, so we need a mediator. Lagoon of Tranquility. The Mary Morgan, known for her passion for drowning trespassers, and the Banshee, singer of bone-shattering songs in the Lonesome Lagoon, are two terrifying creatures in love. But because of a mysterious dispute, their relationship's on the line. Their best friend, the Swamp Witch buyer, who has a spa, by the way, would do anything to keep their friend group from shattering. Couple counselors sorely needed. I want to know about the undead snails. It's been there the entire game. Yes, we feed Arndu some dirt. Sweep the floors a bit. And turn out the candles for the night. That was almost on time. It's still Act 2. I'll be right back. Still Act 2. Fuck's sake. I'm back. Art to Well. Act 2, Starlight Sonata. Part 12. It Takes Two. Or 3. 10th of the Astral Moon. Who's our first customer for the day? Fazoa's best detective duo has returned! Oh, my adoptive daughter is back. Welcome back, Melly and Malachite. John. I'm calling him Aura now! I love how they keep changing his name. I love it. Because he's giving you migraines? No, because of his gloomy aura, of course. God, he just needs like a good cup of tea, a blanket, a hug, and maybe a smooch. I could fix him. I'm straight though. Well then, Melly, Aura, good to have the two of you back in town. I assume you were able to solve the mystery surrounding the missing familiars? Yeah. With the help of my trusty assistant, I was able to figure it out. Remarkable, I have to say. Good thing you went with her, Aura. It was a dangerous mission. I love how they keep changing his name. So, for context, we've had, first it was Zephyr, then it was Blaze, and then it was Malachite, and then it was John, and now it's Aura. I love him. Did you encounter a T-Rex? Of course not, but we were nearly burned alive. That's not what I would have expected. You must always expect life to double-cross you. I'm glad you make it back in one piece. One Piece. The One Piece is real. Sorry. You should watch One Piece. Sorry. But I'm curious, what was the reason behind those vanishing familiars? And do I need to worry about Andu disappearing too? How about we tell you what happened to Joford, but only in exchange for 2 free drinks? I can see you've learned a thing or two on your first big mission. Aura taught me how to be more cunning. He's blushing. He's blushing. Only the basics. No need to be so humble. You taught her well. What kind of drink would you like today, Melly? I want something that will polish my investigative and deductive skills. A drink that will make me smarter than I am now, so no mysterious case like this one will ever be unsolvable for me. Coming right up. Sparking Nebula. Mainly because I think the sparkles will be fun for a child. And then let's feed Andu his daily dose of intelligence. Maybe one day it'll do something. And also pet the good boy. Ding. Let's see if this will make your brain cells multiply. Okay, let me try. Oh, this is good. I can really feel it. I'm going to be completely unstoppable. Oh no. Oh yes. Initially I wanted to sit this one out, but I might actually need a drink now. It would be my pleasure if it means I can get to hear your story. Also, I am longing for another one of your little secrets. Right. We made a little deal. Correct. Correct. So what will it be today? Maybe something that will help me counter her verbal attacks, now that she's linguistically invincible. So the usual. Alright, give me a second, I'll be right back. It's a spoken heart, 3 charisma, right? I'm starting to learn my customers. Bing. This should make things easier for you. Oh. I can see it in its face. Not that bad? Huh? No, silly, he likes it. You can clearly see the way his scarf is moving. Ah, I see. Yeah. Scarf sure is moving. My detective skills aren't that bad after all. I think you could teach me a thing or two sometime. Of course. Then we'll be a trio. The detective, her trusty assistant, and the curious apprentice. I like the sound of that. It's been a while since I've been an apprentice. I don't remember being asked if I wanted to be a part of this. But I couldn't have completed the quest without you. Also, being a detective's trusty assistant is an honorable duty, and I'm glad you came with me. Of course, can let you walk headfirst in the open maw of a hungry T-Rex. Hey. Did you actually encounter a T-Rex in Zoford? No, don't be silly. For a moment, I thought you just shared one of your many secrets with me. Right, I guess I owe you one of those now. My hair isn't actually all black. Aura, please. Okay, you know what? Fine. I know, that's not a secret. I can clearly see the white streak. Anyways. Now, please, I'm dying to know what happened in Zoford. So, thanks to the Golden Feathers, we made it to Zoford in the blink of an eye. I don't think I've ever felt that fast in my life. It's like he had the zoomies. They helped us remain unseen, too. Thanks to your drink, we were able to sneak around the city without attracting too much attention. Those ghosts were the clue we needed. I knew we'd find something at the docks, so we made our way there. She was right. In the dead of night, just hours after we had left your tavern, we spotted a peculiar dog roaming near the water. We watched as it tried to sneak onto a cargo ship. It behaved weird, undog-like. It hid behind some barrows and kept looking left and right before it started to sneak on board. I'd never seen a dog do that before. It looked like it didn't know how to be a dog. It didn't use its nose, its ears. It was just off. We watched as one of the workers noticed the dog and scared it away. But my investigative senses were tingling. So we started asking around, as detectives do when they want to collect some more evidence. A few people said they had also seen some animals with odd behaviors. Most of them thought they had some kind of disease, like rabies or something. Most of them thought they had some kind of illness, like rabies. Or that they were spirits disguised in animal forms sent by a sea witch. So they stayed away, minded their own business. Not very high-class detective of them, but they made fine witnesses. Apparently, there's something like a weekly get-together for the town's familiars. We decided to check it out. And we managed to track down a few of the participating familiars to get more insight. It was a little tricky since none of them wanted to talk to us at first. I think they were a bit wary of strangers. It also seems to be difficult for familiars to speak to people they don't know. Must have something to do with their magical abilities. But with our combined charm and charisma, Aura and I were finally able to gain the trust of one of them. And they told us something strange. They said all the familiars that went missing seemed to have been in contact with one particular magician. Of course, we had to pay that wizard a visit. Preferably when he wasn't at home. I think that's called burglary. Finding out his address was child's play. Apparently, he's quite popular among the people of Zoford. It just took Aura a little bit of well-executed bribery to find the mage's home. Did you take some notes? I did. Prepare yourself to be my next test subject, Innkeeper. I'm being bribed. I'm excited to see how much you've learned. You'll be surprised. Flabbergasted. Gobsmacked. Very well. Your drink really did wonders. We managed to break in without anyone noticing. It was so exciting. We snuck around looking for evidence. Maybe a hidden ritualistic chamber or something like that. And did you find one? Sadly, no. But we found his office with the door open. Inside were a lot of books about different kinds of animals and familiars. We figured he just loved animals, or at least needed that knowledge for something else. As any world-class detective would, I also checked his trash can. Did you find anything? Well, nothing to help solve the case. But I did find something that you'd like between all this shredded paper. It looked like a recipe for a magical drink, just like the ones you serve. Ta-da! That is very useful. That's what I thought. Anyway, Aura and I continued our search for clues. His office also had books about common and uncommon diseases in animals. And we kinda had a connection to the reported cases of rabies. I thought it was a bit of a stretch. Not that I could change her mind. That wasn't all we found. Next to his desk in a small cupboard were his diaries. They were full of notes and spells that I didn't understand. Something about transmutational magic. While she studied his diaries, I rummaged through his belongings and scrolls. I had absolutely no clue of what any of it meant, until I found something of interest. Detailed instructions on how to unbind a familiar from their services. A thought began to manifest itself in my brain, though I couldn't quite grasp it yet. But somehow my instincts told me I had all the information I needed. I just had to stitch everything together. Kind of like what I do when I assemble... No, sorry. Kind of like what I do when I assemble quests for my patrons. Exactly! But right when we tried getting to it, we heard the front door squeak and creak as someone entered the house. We tried to hide, of course, but we hadn't been quick enough with our investigation. And definitely not subtle either. The whole place looked super chaotic. The wizard immediately knew something was off. And a potentially dangerous person on high alert is even more dangerous, so we had to be on guard. Aura hid under the table, but I had other plans. I managed to jump on a bookshelf and wedged myself right on top under the ceiling. I was hidden, but I could still see the whole room. Good call. Yeah. I watched as the magician barged in, but he wasn't alone. He was accompanied by a lizard, a colourful bird, and two-headed sheep. Oh, not one of those again. Huh? It's nothing. Two-headed sheep are just... It's so weird. The bird doesn't know how to fly, the lizard walk on two legs, and the sheep's two heads always looked in the same direction. As if they didn't know how to be real animals, just like the dogs from the dogs. But yeah, we had proof. The weird animals were definitely connected to the weird wizard. And if the wizard noted something, he stopped and said to the animals, "Now, you three get out of here. I don't want you to get in trouble, or hurt." Already had my fingers wrapped around the handle of my knife, ready to strike. I'm sure he felt my murderous intent. But it does sound like he cared about those animals. That's what I thought too. As soon as they had left the room, I saw him create a ball of flame in his hands. He was ready to strike, and I knew I had to do something. He would have done horrible things to Aura. So I meowed. Like a cat. I pretended to be a cat. And it somehow worked, even though I was wearing clothes. The wizard turned around and saw me on top of the bookshelf. His features turned from worried to soft in a millisecond. He said, "Oh, my little rascal, how did you get in here? Did I lock you in? You must be terribly scared." And I was scared, but not for the reason he thought. So I just meowed a second time, as you do when you're pretending to be a cat. And then he said, very politely, "Would you please come down here? This room isn't a place for little cats, but I can offer you a cup of milk instead." That was a very tempting offer. So as any cat would, I answered, "No, but I would love some chocolate milk." I don't think cats usually do that. I could be wrong. I kinda forgot that cats don't usually speak. Needless to say, his face was priceless. Then his hands started to light up again. I immediately knew that she was in danger, so I broke every possible rule the Thieves Guild's taught me and just popped up from underneath the table. Very brave of you. I don't know if I'd have been so fearless. Well, I had to. The wizard turned around, he was surprised, maybe even scared, but he was also ready to fire at me. I saw my life flashing before my eyes. And before I could even think about it, I yelled, "We know you didn't mean any harm, you're just trying to protect those familiars, right?" Apparently I hit a nerve. He stopped right in his tracks. I took advantage of that moment and tried to explain why we were in his home in the first place. I told him everything about the quest, the familiars, the weird dog. Usually I'm not very good with words, but, well, your drink definitely did what it was supposed to. I don't know how, but I think we managed to de-escalate the situation. He looked panicked before that, as if he was being chased. Maybe he actually expected people to come after him. Hearing all the clues out of Aura's mouth kind of flipped a switch in my brain, and I could see the truth right in front of me. Suddenly everything made so much sense. I dumped down from the shelf and began my conclusion. It's clear to me that you, the accused, do not have ill intentions. However, that does not make you innocent. You are still involved in the disappearance of some familiars. She was walking back and forth while she gave her speech. Needless to say, the wizard and I were equally confused. You're fond of animals, and such also familiars, while I don't know anything about magic. I have heard the term transmutational before. Who hasn't, honestly? It's a broadly used term. That right there was a blatant lie. So I, the world's greatest detective, have concluded you are turning familiars into animals, or at least you're making them look like animals. You were also accompanied by some of those turned familiars, and you cared for their safety. That means they are here of their own free will. So by turning them into animals, you did them a favor. They wanted to be transmuted, but now their patrons and other familiars can't reach them anymore. And they're worried something bad happened to them, and that's why we're here. Case closed. It's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. And you figured all that out by yourself? Yeah. The magician was also really impressed. I totally hit the nail on the head. I explained again, we were just there to investigate. But that it was also necessary for the familiars and their friends and families to talk to each other. The remaining familiars wanted an explanation, as well as their former mages. The wizard already felt guilty for doing something behind their backs, of course. Turns out, the familiars were unhappy in their dragon-like bodies, and much preferred feeling like real animals. but they were afraid of telling their patrons and familiar friends, so none of their remaining acquaintances knew what happened. Of course, they expected the worst. Why else would your friends just leave you alone and disappear without a trace? Yeah. But obviously none of them wanted to continue like that, so we helped set up a meeting for them to talk it out. And they did. All the magicians were very understanding, if a little sad to lose their connections. The other familiars also welcomed them with open arms, though they were a little confused at first. They needed a while to understand why their friends wanted to be animals. But I think they got it eventually. So, all in all, sounds like a very successful quest. Absolutely. I'm glad you got to uncover the truth. Me too. The magician even decided to give us something in return for helping him. Neither of us have use for it, so we wanted you to have it. Don't say that. That makes it sound like it's a bad gift, and it's not. What is it then? It's a ring of beast storing with a lost familiar inside of it. He found it a long while ago, but its patron never showed up. We named it Renu. Elena can't take care of it, and I have my sheepfish, Rufus. But you have Andu. You already know how to take care of a mini dragon. Oh, I absolutely do. He might enjoy the company. So thank you two very much. He's just below. He's just below. He's a little guy. There are no thoughts behind those eyes. I need to get back to Rufus now. He gets lonely without me sometimes. Or is it that you get lonely without him? He's my pet. I need to take care of him. Don't worry, I'm sure Fable did a good job. Oh, it's nice to see how much you care for your pet. He's been my only friend since my parents died a long time ago. Oh. Are they also eaten by zombies? No. They were burned alive. Oh. Oh no. I remember it as if it were yesterday. It was late afternoon, and my parents wanted to visit the adjacent visit to buy some grain. But they never returned. I wanted to look for them. And when I got to the village, every house, every barn, even the ground was ablaze. I heard yelling, people screaming in pain, pleading for help. And my parents were nowhere to be found. A few of the survivors confirmed they had seen them earlier that day, before the fire. Later found out the perpetrator was the pretentious son of a noble family. He had a disagreement with a farmer over some payments, and instead paid a bunch of criminals to set fire to his barn. The fire spread uncontrollably and devoured everything in its path, including innocent lives. Just like it did today. That's awful. But I'm sorry, Aura. It's alright. I bottled up my emotions, bind them into desire. For a family? Or revenge? Oh. That sounds like a lonely desire, though. You haven't found any friends since then? No. The people in the Thieves Guild helped me survive, but they weren't particularly keen on friendship. But I just chose the lonely path that was meant for me. Not very nice of them. And now you have me. And we're best friends now. And accomplices. And we can found our own guild. Like a detectives guild. No. Give us a few more quests and we'll be the most famous detective in all of Fazoa. I'm sure of it. Hex, what up? And good mythical morning to you too, Innkeeper. This time it's actually still morning. I'm impressed. But that doesn't mean it isn't also morning somewhere else in the world as well. Of course not. It's a really cute hat you're wearing. Thanks. Can I try it on sometime? Only if you tell me your name. Fellow master of bribery, I see. There's nothing more you could possibly teach me. A world-class detective like me doesn't need any extra lessons in bribery. So you're a detective? Yes. The best detective in all of Fazoa, I might add. I'm Melina, by the way, but you can call me Melly. Happy to make your acquaintance, Melly. I'm Hexagon Hex, but you can call me Hex. Like, by your last name? No. Hex, as in short for hexagon, obviously. Ah. And who's that grim-looking fellow next to you? Him? They look grouchy, but they're my world-class assistant. Not by choice. His name is Aura. I'm sure it is. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Aura. But I think you've gotten enough information out of me. Can I try on your hat now? That's a tricky one. You see this little star pendant at the tip of my hat? Uh-huh. It classifies me as a wizard of the primordial sea. A silver one, I might add. One of Leviathan's most trusted confidants. And all of his knowledge is directly transmitted to anyone with a hat like mine. In particular, silver stars like me have access to information that, leaked to the masses, would break the order of this world. Oh wow. But every silver star has to go through extensive mental training. Such amounts of knowledge would drive any mortal without proper training insane. No. So I can't let you try on my hat without endangering your life. And I couldn't forgive myself if I were the reason Zoa's best detective went mad. That is very honorable of you. But I, the great detective Melina, have concluded that you, Hexagon Hex, are nothing but a bad liar. You're a great detective indeed. I honestly thought you were pretty convincing, Hex. Thank you. Wait, did you actually believe him? Of course not. I said he sounded convincing, not that he was. I just happen to know a thing or two about the primordial sea. I've read a few books, heard some rumors, you know how it is. And I really doubt Leviathan would share his precious knowledge with a mere mortal. Nothing against you, Hex. You got me there. I gotta say, you're really convincing. I sure am. Looks like a great detective like me never stops learning. Honestly, you could have just told me that. No, though. I would have revealed my name even without promising a magical hat like on the line. It's more fun this way. I think honesty is also a very important skill to master. Whatever you say, detective. Hex, what brings you here today? Nothing really. I was just longing for another one of your drinks. You know, the kind that would flood my head with new ideas. Leave it to me. Sparking Nebula, I guess. You know what, let's see if there is something else, though. That's charisma, that's also charisma. Peak Sunrise. Sure, why not? We'll give him some inspiration. To inspire him to get new ideas. Voila. A drink. There you go, this should do the trick. Ah, let's see. Oh, I can already feel it. Well, the ideas, they're manifesting in my brain. Honestly, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess we'll have to find out. Oh, maybe you could show me a magic trick. Just to test your abilities, I mean. Well, yes, of course I can. I'm glad you asked. You know, I'm a master of fire. Oh, okay. Can you also do fireballs? I wouldn't call a fireball a mere magic trick. More like a fully fledged spell. But I can create 10 tiny flames on top of my fingertips. Like cute little candles. I want to see that. I would maybe advise you two to play with fire outside, and not in the wooden tavern. Just an idea. A lot of my ingredients are very flammable. Also, the chairs and also the bar are very flammable. You'll miss a big show then. Think I'll manage to survive. Your loss. Or, are you coming as well? I'm good. Alright, Lone Wolf. You're missing out, though. Certainly. See you later. Have fun, Millie. Lynn! Lynn! Hi, Lynn. I keep forgetting how your voice goes because you so rarely show up. Innkeep. Lynn? This quest up for taking? It sure is. Why else would it be hanging up on a quest board? Who else are you, thief? You going all by yourself? Of course, I don't do groups. It could be quite dangerous. The area seems to be hotspot for danger at the moment. Do you want to come with me or what? If so, spit it out, kid. Oh. Fine. There's nothing this greatsword can't cleave through by itself. Won't need much help. Cool. They always like that, innkeeper. Depends who's in the room. I see that blush. Oh, sorry. Ah, I see how it is. You do? Of course I do. You're like a dragon. You barely know me, so it's obvious you're reserved as to not show any weak spots. But you just gotta find the fine line between being reserved and being a tad too edgy. That you stop psychoanalyzing me. Yeah. No. Great. Not like we're right with any of your assumptions. You could always enlighten us. I'll pass, but I wouldn't mind another drink. Same as always. Yes, something drinkable. You know, something for my aura. Gotcha, it's on the house this time. His favorite is the spoken heart. Because I said so. Let's give some do some more intellect. Pet. He's just a sweet little guy. Fine. Voila. Thanks. That's good enough. Splendid. Alright, moving on. What about you, Lynn? I'd like to know more about the chasmscape that's the path to Deria. I mean, I haven't been there yet. Me neither, actually. Really? Do you think I never leave this tavern? Do you have any special insights that might be useful? Not so much about the situation in Deria itself, but bits and bobs I picked over the past couple of days. Enlighten me. As you might have read, travel to Deria has become a bit of a hazard, collapsing bridges, disappearing animals, nervous diplomats. Sounds like a havens for bandits. Okay. Okay. Among other things. Either way, I'll get that blue blood to Deria. Of course. How about a drink to aid with the undertaking? I thought you'd never ask. Any wishes? I mean, this could go either way. Depends on what's truly going down in Deria. Timing might be important, being swift and smart about it. Evasion, that's what you call it. I might have a good infusion for that. The feather of a golden loon. What? Oh, a rare waterfowl. Legend has it the wind still resides in its feathers, which is why they lend you its speed. Ah, intriguing. Suppose it'd be great for invasion, if you added something for the brains in it. Though I'll be dealing with a diplomat, so an additional charisma to get me on its good side wouldn't hurt either. Definitely doable. Alternatively, to be prepped for every possible situation, something to up my defenses wouldn't be too bad. How do you feel traveling under the blessing of the dragons? I'm all ears. With a little citron, your weapon strikes will be blessed, great against any bandits or bridges. Sounds like something my barber would have chosen. Not that she would have needed it. If the situation really is that dangerous, something that'd give me more protection would fit. If it comes with enough strength to strike back, that is. But being able to evade the threat by being smart and fast might be better. You know what, Inky? I'll leave the choice up to you. You should know what you're doing. Let me think about it. I'm doing the, swift and smart one. I just have... Yeah. I just enjoy taking the clever route through games, the stealthy approach, the smart tactical stuff. Right, so 1 or 2 drops of charisma with the infusion of haste. Hang on, okay, it's the golden feathers give haste. Does anything else give haste? Those 2 things give inspiration. That's the blessing, that's fire resistance, that's an ice shield, and that's invisibility. It's just this. And so the Sparking Nebula can't do, because it has to have 1 bit of charisma. So the Peak Sunrise is the way to go. We add 1 bit of dex, and 4 bits of intelligence, because the infusion gets rid of 1 stage of intelligence. And so we have to add 4 to get to the total of 3. Ding. Let's let wits, wind, and some kind words guide your way. Let's Raya! Is this because I pointed out that 4 minus 1 equals 3? Where you headed? Daria, it seems some diplomat clown is in need of aid. Needs some escorting of sorts. Yes. Thanks. Hi, Innkeep, is this the escort quest you've been offering? Yep. Boggin crap. Been meaning to take that one to earn a little bit of coin on the side. I do know, ma. Well, I've already committed to it. And what if I tell you that I want the quest? Well, you ain't getting it. Simple. Could you stop me? You want me to try? I love you too. Come on now, just go together. Who asked ye? Exactly. Conversation is giving me a headache. Solution is as easy as it is efficient. Go together. One takes the big bads, the other the small ones. Either way, you're better prepared for a fight. If it comes to it. Listen, I'm looking to buy some materials for an important project. Materials costs exploded ever since the stars fell. I wouldn't mind a side gig. You look sturdy, like it could take a few blows, so... Sure. Let's do it. Let's meet tonight at the crossroads to Themis. We'll leave from there. Great. I'll head to my room and start packing. And to take a nap. Those are effective after all, huh? Oh, shush. You're a brooding fella, aren't ye? This is just who I am. I've met fellas like ye before. You're all the same. Often you've got the truest hearts of gold. Can we skip the sincerity? My headache is bad enough. Oi, Innkeep. Rhea? Kyle keeps talking about the fireworks. He's still oblivious about what actually happened. Luck's with the fools, they say. For many, it'd be easier if it just had been fireworks. He keeps blabbering about that letter. Oh? Have you opened it yet? No. Dreading what might be inside. I just didn't have the time yet. Suddenly, your lines don't sound so empty anymore. Don't think too hard about it. Archie! A distraction! Think about what? Nothing. Nothing. Of course not. I didn't mean to pry or anything, even though I'm very curious by nature. Good for you. I would agree. That Wanderlust are the reason I decided to come here. The tavern to Zenith to adventure. Woohoo. Thank you. I've come to inquire whether someone has already embarked on the quest to escort my dear friend, Daria. Very much so. She's sitting right here. Where? Oh, how rude of me. Of course. Hello, brave adventurer. Rhea's enough. Hello, brave Rhea. You're the one who's going to escort my dear friend. I don't know where Fable is. Probably out doing hero stuff. Along with Lynn. That one. Oh, yeah, Lynn, phenomenal. I'm beyond thrilled to learn that my dear friend is going to be in such capable hands. You missed some... Okay. Though, I've been wondering, Come on, spit it out. Could I perhaps join? It's totally right or not, but this diplomat is very dear to me. It feels like my duty to aid him. Can ye even fight? Well, I can talk. Very well, in fact. I can fight with my words. The wolf hated. It's a sure thing. Come along, lad. I'll show you some tricks. We leave at midnight. Really? How exciting! Come on, let's go. Oh, how the turntables! Me, going on a very dangerous and important quest, instead of merely reading about it. Seems like you're on the right path for your hero's journey. Indeed, all the stories I'll have to tell when I return, Innkeeper. I can't wait. Farewell, see you soon. Goodbye. See you soon. Hope the quest goes well and they don't run into anything unexpected. Hey. What's on your mind? Are there any open quests left? There's one, but it involves social conflict resolution. Sure, whatever. Really? I'm taking this. Isn't it a bit too soon to go on another quest? You've just gone back. At least have a long rest, replenish some resources. I'm good. You sure? No, but who cares? I do. Don't. A little late for that, I'm afraid. I already paid you with a story today to get me one of those quest drinks. Something with a little more violence. I don't think I'll be doing that. This is social conflict resolution. You are going to be a mediator and talk to them. Ah, Fable. Hiya, Innkeeper. Hiya, Fable. Hiya, Mel. Never mind. Would you like a drink? Also, they're going by Aura now. Uh-huh. Okay, that's... Yep. It's a shame that giant emote doesn't really show up on a screen, but, yep. Big Kirby High. Actually, I'm here for a quest. Archie told me there was still one left, and I wanted to ask if I could take it. Good question, Fable. Aura. Is there a quest she could go on? I can out-silence you. I say it's on me to answer it. Never mind, maybe I can't. Aura here is thinking about taking the quest. Who's Aura? John, Malachite, that guy. Zephyr, Blaze. Him. Oh, nice name. Thank you. But you're already taking it, then I guess I'm too late. I hope you have fun. Why don't you two go together? Together? Is that allowed? Of course. Teamwork is the adventuring world's bread and butter. Most heroic deeds are not done alone. Life would be very lonely that way. It would be, yes. So you should go on this quest together. Combine your individual strengths to solve any problems better than you ever could do alone. And you know to get to know each other better in the process. It's a win-win. Laura, what do you think? Would you be okay with that? I guess, would you? I think so. It sounds fun. Cool. It's settled then. You'll go together. If I can ask, what exactly is the quest about? She only mentioned there was one. It's simple. Fire the Swamp Witch is worried because the Banshee of the Lonesome Lagoon and the Mary Morgan of the Ashen Grove aren't speaking to each other. And you both have experience with each of them. She fears the end of their relationship because they've been girlfriends for over 1,000 years. And the end of their relationship would also mean the end of her friendship with them. Fire is friends with the Mary Morgan? Best friends. So we need to talk to the Mary Morgan. And the Banshee, what an opportunity. I always wanted to come face to face with the embodiment of sorrow. Don't you think that's scary? No. You know what's scary? Failing relationships. Social fight's the most dangerous kind. I find them less scary than wrathful spirits. Seems like together your fears will cancel each other out. And definitely not multiply. I don't know enough about math to dispute that. Speaking of math, ish, how do you two want to approach this? This is not an easy task, so we must be smart about it. Do you still have any of those Fey crystals? Ones that made you fade into the shadows entirely? Sure do? Good. I suggest you mix those with hefty serving of intelligence. You can turn invisible and come up with clever ruse to make them fall for each other again without them ever knowing it was us. Do you just want to avoid social interaction? Maybe. He just needs a hug. Maybe I just remember how well being invisible served me last time. Fair enough. I don't know. I feel like they should talk about their feelings. What if their feelings are that they never want to talk about each other? What if their feelings are that they never want to talk to each other ever again? And they should talk about that too. Point of the quest. I think it is. We should face the problem head on instead of trying to find a way to avoid it. I think I could do with another round of charisma for this one. Maybe Innkeep. They mentioned you have some Thunder Sage? That would help us inspire other people, right? Correct. I'll admit, it works a little differently for everyone, but I have no doubt you'll figure it out. You're with Fable? Of course you're with Fable. Speaking of Clay, he wanted me to tell you that he and Tia will make it back in time for the barbecue. Really? That's amazing! Alright, you should come too. We're having a barbecue at the werewolf settlement on the 31st. It'll be great fun, I think. Not just because you want to marry them, but also because, like, it's probably the right choice. Ah, I don't think so. Oh, alright. Oh, don't make Fable sad. Don't do that. Come on. I have to get back to Rufus at some point. We'll need his wool cut. Speaking of Rufus, if you're here, Fable, where's the sheepfish? Melina picked him up. She said she'd bring him home so he has less time to spend alone. Great. Was that wrong? I told her exactly what kind of food to give him in case he gets hungry while they wait for you. No, it's fine. He likes her. They're a good match. Anyway, we should hurry, so you don't miss your barbecue. You're right. Innkeeper, can you help us pick out the right approach? Either invisible and intelligent, or charismatic and inspiring. I trust your expertise. Let me think about it. Yeah, I do think charisma and inspiration is the correct way to go here. Question is, what kind of charisma? Or what kind of inspiration? I want for charisma and I'll add a little bit of dex. Actually, the sunny breeze could work with either, couldn't it? Yeah, it could. But they specifically asked for some Thunder Sage. I can't remember which one is the Thunder Sage. Hang on. Okay, so that's the Thunder Sage. You did specifically ask for the Thunder Sage. Well, if not ask for, then mention. And then a dash of dexterity makes a sunny breeze with charisma and inspiration, which is one of the orders. Just double checking. Ding. I think the direct approach is the better choice here. After all, honest communication is important, right? Would you say so? Very much so. And do you? I think honesty is the best approach to any situation, including this one. Agreed, Fable. I think the only question left is, where should we start? The Ashen Grove is closer. And you already know where to find the Mary Morgan. You do? Yeah, I encountered her before. Hope she'll remember you. Useful. I hope not. Last time she tried to drown me. Oh, I see. It was pretty embarrassing. I know the way to the Banshee too. It might be smarter to start with the one further away, work backwards and all. That makes sense. Let's do that. Good. We should prepare first. The journey to Boreas won't be easy. You're right. We should leave tomorrow morning. We should. Wonderful! Glad to know that you'll actually rest between quests, Aura. If I must. You want to rest with Belly, right? How was it? Fine. Reminded me of my parents. Are they... well? They're dead. Ah! Burned to death. I'm sorry. That's horrible. That's life. It shouldn't be. How old were you when you lost them? 7. Oh wow. That must have been really scary. It was fine. Doesn't sound fine. Oh, I need to give him a hug. When I was 7, I ran into a vine-spiked boar while searching for friendly rocks. It chased me through the forest for almost an entire hour. First I thought I was going to die, and I was sure I was never going to step foot outside again. But when they found me crying, my family hugged me so tightly that they dried up all my tears. And when I sat in my room frozen in fear, we danced and played board games until I forgot I was even scared. Can't imagine not having that. I can. It was... Don't you dare say fine. Please don't say fine. Scary. Really scary. I waited home by myself for 2 whole days. I thought the shadows were going to eat me at some point. And when I was finally brave enough to leave, it was too late. No, it wasn't your fault, right? I know I never want to feel that scared again. It's fine, because I fixed it. Fixed it? How? By taking the revenge on the who caused their death. A popular approach these days. Does that make you feel any better? Yeah, sure. It's a natural part of my journey. following the path of darkness. It's my destiny. Misery is nobody's destiny. He's right. You shouldn't confine yourself to sadness just because it's what you're used to. Besides, the innkeeper always says you can choose your own destiny. And I decided our destiny is to bring these two lovebirds back together. At least for now. I think I need to go prepare for our treacherous journey ahead. You should let Melina know you're leaving. She'll be worried senseless otherwise. Let her know you'll be back. I might not be. Don't be like your parents. Sorry, that was a sore spot and I shouldn't have... Whatever. Time to go. That was a bit mean of me. Think I should go after them? I think sometimes we need a bit of time to feel our feelings by ourselves before we feel comfortable enough feeling them in front of other people. That's a no, right? Give him a moment. You'll have plenty of time to be there for him when you're trying to play matchmaker for the undead. Right. We have to do that. Which is fine. I'll be fine. The Mary Morgan probably doesn't even remember me. And if she does, I can just run. Or hide. No matter what, you won't be alone. Because someone in my Twitch chat is horny for you. I can't tell Aura how afraid I am. It will be so embarrassing. If you want to be there for him, you should also let him know when you're scared. It's only fair. Yeah, no? Okay. I don't want to burden them with my problems. Being a burden every once in a while is part of the wonderful experience of being loved. Your friends appreciate it when you trust them enough to let them help. Because when you care for people, you're willing to put in a little work to make them smile. But you already know this, don't you? I do. It's just so much harder to keep in mind when it comes to myself. I know, but you've been doing very well. Thank you, Innkeeper. Oh, thanks to you. That isn't true. I've been trying to help you the best I can, but you're the only one who can actually do the change. And I'm proud of how far you've come. Let's call it teamwork then. Let's. Anytime. Can I stay a little longer? I think I need a bit more time before I can face my fears. Always. Thank you. Oh, it's almost dark. Lynn! Buddy pal! Morning. It's not morning. Did I sleep that long? No, it's still the same day. Ah. That makes more sense. Not morning, Elfie. Not morning! How'd you sleep? Not much. I think your drink made me restless. Archie said you're going on a quest. Yeah. Ray and I be escorting some Shaderia. Be a little nicer, please. He's Archie's friend. Sorry, we'll be escorting some rich idiot to Deria. He's Archie's friend? I see. That's why he was so excited. Is his friend's leaving? Doesn't really be craving some peace and quiet. Oh, no. He's excited because they get to travel together. What? He said he's coming along. Since when? Raya invited him. Great. Is it too late to back out? Yes. Don't be a coward. Fine. But I'll need another drink. That would be rather difficult. I already gave you a drink tailored to your quest, and my boost shouldn't be mixed so irresponsibly right before an adventure. I'm just supposed to deal with this headache by myself. Yes. Very helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. Think something exciting will happen on your quest? We'll see. I've got a good feeling about it. You reckon I'm going to meet another Guardian? Maybe. That'd be fun, right? What kind would you like to meet this time? Not sure. Already felt like I met the one I was looking for. What could be greater than tricking a wyvern chimera? Right. I think this time I think that means it's time to befriend the Realm Keepers now. Well, that'd be something. Which one would you like to meet the most? Gaia. Can't think of a great honor than that. You? Gaia as well, but I feel like I should pick someone else for balance. Cassiopeia, maybe. Love to ask her how she's doing right now. Maybe give her a hug. You'd be the type to give a dragon a hug. What does that mean? That you're very lovely, Fable. Something like that. So, fellow dragon enjoyer, what would you pick? No repeats. I think, the first dragon and origin of everything. Or she want to hug a dragon. Everyone wants to hug dragons. There's just something fascinating about trying to understand the incomprehensible. They say their domain is covered in the roots of the ether tree. Laying eyes upon them supposedly reveals unspoken truths of the universe. I could probably make a new drink out of those truths. Wonder what that'd do to you. Something fun, I'm sure. But I suspect your quest will have its merits, even if you don't meet any of the Realm Keepers. That's true. I bet you and Rhea will have a lot to talk about. And you can teach Archie more about adventuring. I'm not sure about that. You're a great teacher. I've learned so much from you already, just by being your friend. Like how to say what I really mean. I'm still working on it, obviously, but I feel so much better when I'm being honest about what I want. I've been getting a lot better at it. Thank you. Ellie loves practicing with you too. She says she wants to ask Rhea to build her a great sword of her own. So a regular-sized dagger. Teaching someone to hold a sword is one thing. Guts and bravery is something else. Not sure I can teach Archie something I'm still practicing myself. You can always practice together. Yeah. Speaking of practice, you're going on a quest too, Elfie? I am. Burr and I are going to fix the Banshee and the Mary Morrigan's relationship. Is that the Sneaky Twister's new name? It is! Ain't you scared of the Mary Morrigan? Only a little. Okay, maybe a lottle. Do you think she's going to drown me? Or do you think the Banshee will? Maybe they'll reunite through the teamwork of drowning me. Probably not. I think you'll probably find some wacky as heck solution that no person in the history of dragonkind would have ever thought of. Like being kind or whatever. I'd like that. And if all else fails, you've always got an insane air echo by your side to pull you out of the water. If he can swim. He's sane. Is he? Well... Mostly I think he's sad. Sadness can make people feel a lot of intense things. Like fear, or anger. Or nothing at all. Anything that isn't sadness. It's easy to lose yourself in that. There's always a way out. If you're looking. You taking that sheepfish thing along? Maybe? I think he might let it stay with Melina, so she isn't alone. Or so he isn't at risk of losing him. Probably both. Not a bad idea. Would hate for her to be all alone while you two go chasing ghosts. Maybe we can send Grace over to check up on her. Or Hex. No. Guess you're going with whatever the Drake's his name is. You're finally able to ask him about his cheesecake recipe. Cheesecake recipe? I didn't think I mentioned he has a good one. I thought maybe he could show me how to make it. That sounds like a great idea. Ask him. You can use my kitchen if you want to. Really? That would be amazing. But I do have a tax. I have to get a slice. I'll ask him. Maybe. Andu will be waiting for you. On a completely different note, Lynn, what happened to those undead snails you wanted to check in on? Finally, the snails! Well, they're slow, ain't they? Still got a little time to stick around. So, you'd say you like it here? Not too bad here. Thought maybe I'd even bring my cousin a souvenir. Hands off my trinkets. They're mine. Ain't that air echo? I'll get us something from the market. The elf settlement. Maybe I'll bring you something back from the farm, Elfie. You mentioned you'd love to try planting some ghost berries. Either way, I'll stop by sooner or later. Don't want to risk her turning into a werewolf and moving house. Ha! Ah. No, but seriously, if any of more of my family members turn into dragon-forsaken werewolves, I'll be joining the Van Helsings. Still don't know if they kill werewolves. Don't care. Do you think I could come with you when you go, you mean? I could gather the ghost berries myself, and I know a lot about snails. You should. You've got away with her family members. The snails would love you. Have to agree, you'd probably make a chaotic mess, but a fun chaotic mess. Yeah. Oh, seems like you guys did end up forming a party after all. Shut up. Okay. Anyway, it's late. I think I should go back to the settlement and catch some rest. Galen, do you want to come with? We can stop by the werewolf settlement and say hi to Mr. Dragan. Or, hi. I ain't sure I got any tips for you in return, but I can listen to your worrying. Yeah, you're good at that. You want to come too, innkeeper? I'm afraid Andu doesn't do well in civilization. Or alone. Especially not alone. Ugh. Last time that happened, just go on without me. But I'll be eagerly awaiting your stories. We'll return with plenty. I'm counting on it. Good night, Lynn. Good night, Fable. Night. Good night. Yes, now goodbye. Feed onto the dirt, sweep up the floors, and turn the candles out for the night. One day I will time that right. One day. Probably not today. Act 2. Interlude. 13th of the Astral Moon. Getting closer to Act 3 every day. It's only been 2 hours. It's still not done. Oh. Hello. Welcome. Hey, you. I knew we took the right path. Who said we can't road trip all by ourselves? Liam did, I think. I think that was perhaps a rhetorical question. Whoa, dude. Didn't see you there. What's up? The sky last time I checked. Although, hopefully, the ceiling is between us and the sky. It better be. It'd be very confusing otherwise. Very true. Is this your crib? It is indeed. Welcome to the Wayfarer's Inn. You got to go? Okay, see ya. With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking? Holly Geist and the goodest of boys, Scott Howell. And together we are the Prankmasters. With a Z, woo. Pleasure to meet you. I'm your humble innkeeper. Awesome. What drink do you serve? Oof, yeah, we're in desperate need of some booze. Sorry to disappoint, but I don't serve booze. What? Why? The age rating system is quite harsh on such things. And we've got to keep the place open somehow. I feel you. We've all got some burdens to carry. What else have you got? Magical beverages that can enhance your abilities. Not your ability to get drunk, but your other abilities. Even rumored they might influence your fate. Wow, that's so cool, dude. Like an influencer, but for fate. A fate-fluencer. That would go so hard on Moment Graham. Goes pretty hard here as well. Bet. Innkeep, please influence our fate before I get bored. I'm feeling incredibly depleted from this weird AF trip. Sounds like you're in dire need of some stamina. Though, I think you could use something a bit stronger than usual. Dope. Give me your strongest potion. Innkeeper, I'm going into battle. I need your strongest potion. Technically, never mind. So, stamina is defense, yes? Strength. Strength. Not bad. Have a sailor's courage. Alright, and then... a sailor's courage. Which fulfills the order for 3 strength. Ding! A funky drink for a funky gal. Let's see. Wow, this is good. Very good. So good, I don't even miss the booze. Well, maybe a little bit. I'll take that as a compliment. Try this, Scott. Whoa, that tickles! Just like the pickle juice. So, Scott Howell, would you like a drink as well? Nah. You could tell us where we are and what cool things we can check out around here. You're in Zenith in the Republic of Fazoa. Are you lost? No. At least not as long as we're having a blast. You do seem slightly out of this world, though. Ooh. Maybe you're onto something, potion seller. I'm not... You know, we were road tripping, supposed to be the trip of our lives, when something weird happened. We were about to take the next turn at a crossroads, and then whoosh! A portal opened up. I couldn't hit the brakes in time. Yeah, we drove straight through and ended up on a gravel road. Everything seemed different and dated. So dated. Dated? Duh. I've seen and done plenty of weird stuff, but this is a different kind of weird. So weird. No cars, only carriages and stuff. Cars? Like the movie? Sorry. Yeah. You mean carts? Kinda. Well, like carriages, but without the horses. Then how did they go? I'm afraid I've got no clue what you're talking about. I don't think cars exist here, Scott. Now it makes sense that my phone has no signal either. What makes sense? We landed in the past. More likely it's a separate universe, but... Whoa. Does that mean we time traveled? Yeah. That's so cool. I doubt time travel is possible. Sounds more like you participated in inter-universal travel. Which is rare, but happens occasionally. Wait. So what you're saying is we are super special and lucky to have participated in such an event? Likely. So, this is a sign, Scott. The universe sent us here to wreak havoc. Woo.
The Prankmasters will strike again!
Soon, after a nap.
We take a nap, Polly.
Good idea. Hey, fucking magic mystery pal. You'd better get to writing that tour guide. I'll see what I can do. Good. Do you have a room for us? Of course. I've got a room upstairs. Just ignore the scratching sounds and leaking water by the iron door. Don't worry, we've seen worse than that. We've got plenty of experience with sea monsters. Always hyped to meet more. See you in a bit, Inky. Come on, Scott. Let's hit the sheets. Maybe I should add some do not enter signs. We're trying to keep that water in. Fire! I love fire. Hello. Glad to see you, Buyer. Thank you for having me now. Did your friends' dispute still ailing you? You're so lonely. Lonely. Well, we've got someone on the case. I came to ask. Have you sent someone to help my friend? I did, actually. You did? Yes. I sent Fable and Aura to solve the dispute. And let's hope they'll be friends again soon. So we can have tea parties again. And I can stop being lonely. At least people are visiting my spa. That's good. Thank you for handing out my coupon. Hello, Polly. Hello. Oh. Did I hit spa? Doesn't that sound like something, Scott?
Ooh, I love spa things.
Now, your tour guide, sweet bog creature. Tour guide. Do you want to visit my spa? These two are Polly Geist and Scott Howell. They're currently looking for entertainment. Entertainment. Anyway, back home. But entertainment first, obvs. It's getting incredibly boring here. No offense, funky magic mystery pal. None taken. Is your home?
In a portal or something.
Yeah, we came through a portal, which in itself is pretty rad. But we had the medieval Taron experience, and it was good while it's lasted, but it's time to move on. Move on to my spa. Something like that. Which makes me think, do you think you could help them find their way back home? Of course. You can do that? But first, you have to visit my spa. Nothing easier than that. I'm in need of a facial anyways. The air is so dry. My bog water is especially moisturizing. Wait.
Does that mean we get to go skinny dipping in some hot springs?
Oh yes, absolutely. My hot springs are the best. Cool. So a pit stop at your spa, then road trip back home? You joining us for the ride, sweet bog creature? Please say yes. We'll see. I'll first show you the portal and my spa. If you bring them to the portal, you could take a ride with them through it. Might help you with your loneliness. You think so? Yeah.
No one's lonely on a ride with the prank masters.
I'll think about it. Which portal do you want to take? The one through Avalon, full of dreams and stories. Or the one through the Twilight Chasm, a place full of dread and weird fishy. Ooh, the Twilight Chasm sounds spooky. I love spooky.
I love dreams, they're so weird. Like that one dream where I had my own dad, well, where I was my own dad.
Where should I lead them in, Keep?
Trip through the nightmare realm does sound fun. Nightmares? Heck yeah, I hadn't had one of those in a while.
Sounds dope. Make sure you don't lose your minds, though. No promises. Can't wait to show you my mud mark. Can't wait to show you the world's swing bod creature. My name is Baya.
Then let's hit the road, buyer.
Enjoy. Well, no, sorry. Enjoy your trip and safe travels. Goodbye, potion seller.
See ya.
Goodbye, innkeeper. See ya. I'm glad Baya could find a little comfort in those peculiar visitors, at least. I'm excited to hear the story she'll tell when she gets back. Will you please move on to Act 3 so I can stop? We're feeding Anu the dirt. We're sweeping up the floors. And we're putting up the candles for the night. I didn't time that right, I was a little late there. No, I don't want to seem like I'm complaining that there's more to the game. Hell yeah, more to the game. But it's just... I'd rather do them in act chunks. But, like... It's exhausting to voice act. That's why I don't do it as a job, apart from the fact that I'm extremely socially awkward and also have a bad voice. But I shall be right back. Okay, I am technically back. I'm just taking a moment to drink more water so my throat doesn't die. Act 2. Starlight Sonata. Part 13. Hell or High Water. 17th of the Astral Moon. Ah. Grace. Grace. Good evening, Innkeeper. Good evening, Grace. Can I ask for your drink? Anytime, what can I do for you? I'm pretty spent. Do you have anything that will keep my mind awake for a little longer? I have something that can do just that. One moment. A sparkling nebula, I believe. I want to see if I can do this without looking at the journal at all. See if I've got it right. A drink for the mind and soul. Enjoy. Thank you. This is just what I needed. Why are you still so tired? I thought you were done with your thesis. I am, which also means I need to figure out what to do next. The possibilities are endless, but not boundless, so considerations are a complicated endeavor. Have you considered a break? Have? Say, Innkeeper, if you had a forever, what would you do with it? Never thought about that before. The whole, concept of immortality just kind of doesn't sit right with me. And so, if I had forever, I think I'd go insane, unwillingly, of course. But, I think I'd stay here, making new drinks, and enjoying my time here. I like being an innkeeper, so I could just keep doing this forever. It's relaxing and safe, and I get to meet the most wonderful people and wizards all day. Forever is a really long time. Isn't there anything else you would like to do? I've always wanted to learn how to play the harp. Oh, why haven't you? No time, no muse, no talent. Or maybe I'm just waiting for the right moment. When will that moment come? Not sure. I just don't feel like harps belong to me right now. I don't feel like the harp belongs to me. Let me know when it does. I'd love a concert. I will. What would you do with immortality? I would learn everything there is to learn. Every language, instrument, skill, and facet of mortal existence. I would travel the plains with my brother and learn even more, have an infinite amount of tea parties. I'd come to those. When we were little, Hex would always make all the stuffed animals dance around for a little tea table. We didn't have the money for music boxes, so we just made up songs for them to dance to. He sang them to me. If I had the time, I would love to write down all those songs and invent dances for them. You should make time for that. It's your time, after all. Besides, while you don't have forever, you do have quite a lot. An elven lifespan is nothing to scoff at, even if you only get half. Not if you got the human side of the lifespan. Oh. That's less time. It is. And I'll make the most of it. What will you do next, then? I'm not sure. I was thinking about going to Ashfadel, the capital of the Magocracy. Oh, the library there are 60 stories tall. Rivers float through the sky in an exuberant display of mana. Sounds like a paradise for someone like you. Yes, but Hex really wants to stay here. He likes Vizoa, Zenith, the Ashen Grove. I think he likes how quiet it is, if you would believe it. I don't think he'd like the bustle of it all. You could just go without him. There's a Magocration embassy here in Zoford. Not here, but in Zoford. That teleportation is expensive, but reliable. I don't think he wants to go back to Zoford either, and I won't make him. He could teleport himself then. He really shouldn't. It's quite a long distance, and he's always been awful at teleportation. He could take a ship. I appreciate the effort, but I don't think a ship would help him make the distance acceptable to him. He's always going to follow me, no matter where I go. I think he doesn't want to miss out on any adventures or celebrations or funerals. You can just tell him you want to go alone. But then he'd be alone too. Talk to him, Grace. I don't want to spend our time together fighting. I don't want him to spend it mourning me either. You should tell him that. He'll have enough time to mourn you when you're gone. Unlike life, that never ends. I suppose you're right. I'd like to leave something he can remember me by. Maybe I'll build my own wizard tower. Please do. I love those. Love a good wizard tower. Did you hear about the one on Malaya, near Dalwell? One with the infamous Magocration fugitive? The very same. It seems that its wizard has disappeared without a trace, leaving his tower vacant. I've always wanted to stop by for tea, but I don't want to be rude and intrusive, so I haven't. I wonder what he left behind. I'm sure it's a collection of fascinations and impossibilities. Just teleport in to check. You can't exactly teleport in and out of well-protected places all willy-nilly. You might end up trapped or in a whole nother plane. You might. Maybe that's what happened to the wizard. Maybe. No one seems to know what happened to him, or who he even was, and no one seems interested in finding out either. Isn't that sad? A little. I don't want to disappear like that. You won't. I'll tell your story for as long as I'm still around. How long is that? For as long as this world will bear me. You are very easy to bear. Thank you, Grace. Would you like to stay a little while? Please. I find your inn truly inspiring. I'll be here if you need a rubber duck. I'm counting on it. Mabel! Aura, you're back! Hiya, Inkeep. Hiya, you two. A drink, please. Or two, actually. Your thing. Actually, what name are we on right now? Well, 4 is still fine. Come on, that was a whole week ago. Come on, you gotta keep the bit going. I was busy. Want to come up with a new one now, then? Can I come up with one? Sure. How about Kumo? I feel like you look like a Kumo. It fits. He is just as stealthy as a spider. And just as cute. Spiders are cute? Since when? I'll take your word for it. Our drinks. Can we get them now? Of course. What would you like? Something sweet, bubbly, maybe. If you can find something that, you know. Sure, I'll see if I can find the words you're looking for. Sweet, bubbly, I'm guessing charisma. Alright, back to Kumo's favorite. The spoken heart. I love how they keep changing his name. I love it. It's amazing. He's just a little guy. Liquid charisma for those in need. Maybe you should try it then. You want to send it back? No, it's good. Glad to hear that. Abel, what can I get you? Maybe something that will make me feel like a cloud. Hang on, I've just noted the loot on their back. You're getting into songwriting, aren't you? Like, I'm so light on my feet, I'm practically floating. I think I've got something for that. Swift Strike coming right up, because it's 3 decks. Well, I'm starting to remember the drink names and which customer orders what drink. Ish. Swift Strike coming right up. Voila. The usual favorite. Thank you. It's delicious as usual. That's what I like to hear. By the way, what's up with your hair? Oh yeah, their hair has changed. Oh, well... It's Prated, do you need glasses? Hang on. I brought blue light glasses the other... Well, not the other day. The other week. Because why not? I had a spare Amazon gift card from a birthday. Huh. So it is. Interesting. No, it just looks different. Oh. Well... It's okay, you don't have to like it. I do, though. Whom braided it for me. He helped me calm down after we encountered the Mary Morgan. But I should probably start at the beginning, right? I'd appreciate that. Alright, so, what happened at the beginning? The ship to Boreas. Right. I was a bit worried about the journey we were embarking on. After that, the seas around Boreas are famously hard to traverse, with all the wild magic around it and all. But just before we left to Zenith, we ran into Una in the midst of an arm wrestling match against Iniko. I remember Iniko, the changeling monk character who really likes doing crimes and fraud. Well, we took the opportunity to ask her for advice. Thought maybe she'd travelled there before. Could have also asked me. She was closer. Right. Did she have any good advice? She did! With her help, we were able to avoid all those dangerous maelstroms, stacks, and iceberg elementals. Must have made for a very relaxing journey. It did! It was very inspiring, too. We were able to see the dancing, colourful auroras in the night sky as we drew closer. They were starless, but still breathtakingly gorgeous. I even started on a new song. It wasn't ready to be shared yet, though. I just wanted a sneak peek. Well, you should have snuck better. New song? Can I hear it? It's not done yet. Thanks to Una, we made it to Boreas a lot faster than we had planned. We also docked far away from the typical explorer's route. It was completely abandoned by everything but nature, as if no one but us had been there before. Kind of exciting. Very adventurous, for sure. As we headed inland, we were quickly swallowed by the fog that engulfs almost the entire island. It moved in strange patterns, creating unidentifiable forms within the mist that hungered for life. The thickets rustled as we walked by. whether moved by wind or by creatures we couldn't tell. Trees were shaped strangely, shimmering with portals, forming in the empty husks. Our quiet breaths were often interrupted by shrill shrieking sounds that seemed to come from right above us. It was almost idyllic. It was scary. It was mostly scary. I wouldn't have minded strolling around until we ran into something roaming the island. It was a little cold, so I found a local to ask for directions. While wandering around, we came across a clearing, surrounded by tall trees. Or rather, one tree. All of them were connected, intertwined with another. Through one of their twisted connections, a waterfall with no discernible origin was flowing through a small pond, and in its midst rested a nymph! A real nymph! Oh, congratulations, Fable! They finally got to see a nymph. Doing taxes? She was weaving flower crowns for the fish. She was beautiful, with long black hair and skin that glistened in the sunlight, being reflected off the waterfall. Her eyes were like sparkling gemstones, and her smile was full of kindness. She was alright, but also the only person around. So Fable asked her for directions. No, Fable asked her about everything but directions. I asked her for directions. She was very helpful. She even gave us a gift. A gift? That's sweet. She gave us earplugs against the Banshee's song, so our bones wouldn't shatter. Very helpful. Did you offer to write her a little jingle in return? I did! She said that if we were able to survive the encounter with the Banshee, I could come back and she'd think of what she'd need a jingle for. She was thinking about setting up a dragonfly exhibition, so maybe for that. Which she even advertised to. Frogs. And toads. The Banshee was our first priority, so we stealthily made our way to the Lonesome Lagoon, with earplugs in our ears. We mostly walked and talked about our favorite dragonflies. As we approached the Lonesome Lagoon, the thick mist enveloped us. It suddenly became so cold we could see our ragged breaths. And then we heard it, a song filled with all the sorrow of the world compressed into a single note. It sounded really nice. There was so much emotion in that song. Sadness, longing, yearning, anger. We wanted to be polite and wait until she was done singing, but she kept going, like tears that wouldn't stop. So I decided to be a little rude, stepped forward, and said hello. They said, "Hello, Banshee, I really like your song." That confused the Banshee so much that she stopped. She smiled, bearing a row of deadly sharp teeth. She was very nice, actually. She asked if we wanted to steal from her lagoon. When she said no, she invited us to sing along. Did you? Of course. It was kind of odd. It was! I thought, what better time to bring up the Mary Morgan but now? So I led with, I bet you do this with your girlfriend all the time, right? She suddenly looked at me with hatred and anger and suddenly started screaming. I was very thankful for the earplugs at that moment. I think without them, my bones would have melted. That's how cute to leave, so I pulled Fable back into the thicket of the Borean forest. Obviously, we couldn't just leave it at that failure, so we looked around for a peace offering. We found some spiky pink fruits with the pattern of little ghost tortoises on them. We thought she might like them. She liked them enough to stop screaming at us, and we sat down at the side of the lagoon to talk. It's beautiful, by the way. Right in the middle is the giant portal to the Twilight Chasm. It colors the water this deep. and colors the water this deep dark blue with swirling clouds of darkness within. There were bones floating in the lagoon too. I almost brought one for your tavern. I'm glad you didn't. That would have been weird, huh? Not necessarily. Bones just tend to come with lone spirits attached to them. Also, I do occasionally get slime customers, and they would have just eaten it without a second thought. They're slimes. They're tricky customers at times. And I prefer them resting in the halls of Tuat rather than in my tavern. That's fair. The Banshee actually fished out some bones to fidget with. It stopped her from screaming every time she brought up the Mary Morgan. Or Marmor, as she calls her. Turns out the Mary Morgan had been ignoring all of her calls. Ever since the Banshee was crowned Gaia's scariest monster by Screech Magazine. She told us it carved a hole in their relationship, that it caused a lot of jealousy. And she was disappointed that the Mary Morgan cared more about some stupid popularity contests than her. We asked her if she wanted to talk about it with the Mary Morgan herself, but she said that she didn't need to apologize for being scary. She was very thankful she got to talk about it, though. She was holding it all in because she didn't want to burden Bio with all the drama. She even offered for us to spend the night at her nearby cave, which was really nice of her. Did you take a nap in her lair? We thought about it. It was filled to the brim with the riches of the dead, which was far too alluring to allow us to fall into the call of sleep. You found loot. You have my attention. What did you find? Loot? 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 I'm definitely not a loot goblin. Gold, bones, skulls, jewels of all sizes. And a loot! It was broken, but I picked it up anyway. That would explain the loot on their back. It was also carved. There was also a delicate silver mirror that had hearts carved all over it. Kuma recognized it as magical from its arcane markings. Melina showed me them in some book the other day, when the wizard in Zoford showed us around his library. It was a mirror of fast speech. It lets you speak to anyone on this plane, given you've seen them before. So you called Melly? No, we called the Mary Morrigan. Oh, that makes more sense. How'd it go? Well, I had to be the one to make the call, since Kumo had never met her. When her face appeared, all I could do was stare in horror as she gazed back at me. I felt like I was back in the Ashen Grove, leading adventurers to their doom, and I just froze. So I took the mirror out of their hands. Her first words were threats of what she would do to us if we dared to harm the Banshee. Of course we hadn't, and that briefly calmed her down, until I asked her why she wasn't here, if she was so worried about the Banshee's well-being. Avoiding the question, she instead talked to us about the state of the lagoon. She complained that it must be incredibly loud, with all the tourists and whatnot. I assured her that there were no tourists, at least none that were alive. So she asked what I was doing in the lair then. Honestly, I replied that the Banshee had offered us a place to stay in her cave. I quickly realized that I had picked the wrong thing to say. Her eyes started bleeding black ichor. She began cursing us out in tongues. The mirror cracked under her gaze and started bleeding black water. It was terrifying. Then we were just supposed to sleep there, as if she couldn't crawl out of the mirror any second. After that happened, I thought that we shouldn't discuss our further plans in the cave. So I called Fable outside and we went for a walk. The nymph had mentioned this enchanted flower field, where she collects flowers for the fish. So we went there. Thought it might be a good spot. It was a good spot. Even though I couldn't stop shaking for a while. But the flowers really helped, as did not being alone. Was that when Kumo braided your hair? It was, yeah. My hair kept falling in my face and it was overwhelming me. So he sat me down and braided away while I worked on rebuilding the lute. He said that some distraction would help. Talking also really helped. Even if I asked a lot of stupid questions. They weren't stupid, just curious. Did you have a favorite one? They asked where I learned to braid hair. That actually brought us further on our quest. How so? Well, I learned it from my mother. The only thing I feel I have left of her. It was her way of apologizing. It was never very good with words. It made me think. Sometimes people aren't very direct with what they mean. I have heard of that, yeah. Like the Mary Morrigan. She didn't seem angry about the Banshee outdoing her in the fear pageant. She didn't even mention it once. She only got upset when she thought we had heard the Banshee, or when she thought we were tourists, or when we said we were staying in that cave. Like she was jealous of something entirely different from some issue of Screech Magazine. We talked it through and decided we had to get the two of them to talk face to face. Obviously it would be difficult because of the distance, but I had taken the mirror with me when we left. Thought it might be useful. Ever the thief? Indeed, I used it to call Daya. I asked her to tell the Mary Morgan to come to Boreas. If Mabel mentioned she can teleport via plants. However that works. She can. You should try it out. It's nauseating. I think we'll pass. While I went to talk to the Banshee, Kumo picked up the Mary Morgan. You and I really connected on eyeliner techniques. When we arrived at the lagoon, they were immediately ready to claw at each other's throats. And not in a fun way. But somehow we managed to convince them to sit down. We tried to get them to talk about their feelings, but they just kept talking past and over and away from each other, arguing about an issue that didn't exist. So I had this crazy idea. I took out my new lute and asked them if they wanted to write a song together. They declined and insisted their voices would clash, but I thought at the very least it'd stop them from arguing. Humo helped me convince them by summoning tiny rain clouds, pitter-pattering in a gentle melodic rhythm, to inspire them to give it a try. We asked them to put all their emotions about the whole situation into a song. In the end, they harmonized together perfectly, like their voices were made for each other, the gentle hum of my lute. It was beautiful. And a little bone-shattering, but very romantic. Most importantly, the song finally got them to understand each other. Like Kumo had expected, Mary Morrigan was scared, not jealous, now that the Banshee was so popular. She feared the Banshee would become really busy with tourists visiting all the time. She assumed she wouldn't have time for any more. But the Banshee assured her she doesn't care about any of the tourists. Only about the Mary Morgan. And Bayer, of course. We told them to talk to her, too, and mentioned how much she'd been missing them. They agreed to meet for a tea party in the Ashen Grove, so Bayer doesn't have to travel too far. Did you invite them to your barbecue? Oh. After all the outpouring of emotions, they wanted some time for themselves. The quest was done. It had only taken us 2 days, which was really efficient. Unfortunately, we had told the ship to pick us up in 3 days, so we were trapped on the island. So you swam back? What? No. What is wrong with you? The usual. We started brainstorming about what we could do while we waited. I asked about that cheesecake recipe. Can I have a slice? Please. Then I realized there wasn't anywhere to bake it. I don't have any Terrans on Boreas. It was a stupid idea. It wasn't. Somewhere on the island, there had to be something to bake a cheesecake in. Did you find that something? We did! But it turned into its own small quest. First we had to find the right place for our little adventure. We met these lovely gnomes inside their little mushroom houses. And they offered to let us use their ovens. But they were too small, so they introduced us to the local Toad Hill giant. His kitchen was enormous, but it was easier to work in than the one that was too small. And the gnomes, the nymph, and the giant helped us gather the ingredients from all across the island. So we were able to make enough cheesecake for everyone. I burned mine a bit. But when we make a second batch for the ship's crew, they were already starting to turn out better. Gilmore is a really good teacher. And you're a really good student. Thank you. The cake really lifted the crew's spirits on the journey back. We agreed to teach them the recipe once we hit land. Afterwards, they invited us to the captain's birthday party. They even introduced us to a traveling obelisk, who sang us a song of the ancients. It showed us a shortcut through the Rhyolith's mountain range, where we met some flaming songbirds. And now you're here. And now we're here. Well, I'm glad you came back. Of course we did. I promised a good story. And you delivered tenfold. Where are you two going next? I should probably talk to Melina. She was pretty mad when I left. I guess I should apologize while I still can. Good idea. Do you want me to come with you? No. I think I need to do this alone. Or rather, with her. And I have to check in on Rufus too. Maybe Hex taught us some fun magic tricks in the meantime. You left her with Hex. And with Grace. Don't worry, nothing was set on fire. I should go. But before I go, you maybe want to do something together later today or tomorrow. Like, a thing. Are they a thing? Oh, like hanging out together? We could play charades with the werewolves. Mm-hmm. 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 Hmm. No, I should be a wingman for my boy. It's just, I think he meant hanging out as in a date. Did you? Maybe I did. Oh. Okay. That sounds really fun. Cool. I'll pick you up, or see you around, or whatever. I'll see you. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, that's cute. Me too. Oh, that's cute. He asked me on a date. He did. That's... Oh. What? What do I do now? Do you think Archie has books on dating? Or should I ask the Hydra for advice? He probably knows about dating, right? Archie is still on his quest. Also, I'm right here. Also, that's a Hydra, so I'm guessing not. You're right. What should I do? Just go. See where it takes you. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, then at least you tried. Or where he takes you. Hopefully somewhere nice. I do feel safe with him. Maybe I should try trusting this more. Mostly, I think you should just be honest with him. He seems to like you for who you are. There's no need to hide. That's the scariest thing. Why does he feel that way? Because you're very lovely? People keep saying that. But sometimes I feel a lot lovelier hiding, you know? Fucking mood. Me, it sounded like it's perhaps a little too late for that. Sorry for listening in. You two were just very sweet. It's okay. I also thought it was very sweet. He was very sweet. Now that he's gone, I have time to think again. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be that type of sweet anymore. Maybe he was just being nice. He asked you on a date just because he was being nice? Well, maybe he felt bad for me or something. Innkeeper dear, I think Fable might be in need of another drink. Maybe something to untangle their thoughts. Something for a quick escape from all this overthinking. That sounds good. I'll see what I can do. Charisma? Dexterity. So another swift strike. Now let's change things up. What else gives 3 dex? Does anything else give 3 dex? It seems not. So a swift strike it is. Defense. Dexterity. 1, 2, 3. And then we give Ardu some intelligence, because I don't think we've done that today. And then we also add some to the drink to make a swift strike. Does this help? Very much so. Thank you. I feel like now I can uncurl the yarn ball that is my brain. What do you think I should do? What do you want to do? I want to go on our date. I want to get to know him better. Maybe even get him to know me better, too. You think he'd like that? I think so, yes. Otherwise he would not have asked you out on a date. It seems like you don't need our answers. You have yours already. Sometimes I just feel like I need permission to listen to my heart. You know, you can give that permission to yourself. I forget that every time, but I know you're right. I think I know what to do now. Somewhat. But I'll figure the rest out. Thank you for listening to me. I think sometimes that's all I really need when I'm scared. There's nothing wrong with being scared, as long as you don't run from the things that make you happy. You're right. It took me a while to realize that. Running is so easy, you know? You always know where to go. Away. But staying, you have to actually look at yourself. Figure out what your part is in everything. That can be a lot. But when I was on the journey back from Boreas, dancing with Kumo to the music of the Navigator's fiddle. They were dancing? Hello? The edgiest motherfucker who always keeps to himself willingly danced with you, and you somehow second-guessed whether he wanted to take you on a date. Fable, you're a fucking idiot. But we love Fable. Thinking about how I would have never gotten to that point if I hadn't put myself out there. I realized that life is so much more than a constant game of hide and seek from things that truly mean something. And I decided to stop running from life, even if I'm scared. I want to do my best to face my problems. Even though it's terrifying, I know that I'm not alone. Is this still about Kumo? No, he was never a problem. He's one of the reasons I'm not alone. Just like you. With good friends by my side, I can do anything. And I can't wait to see what you'll do. It might not be as impressive as you hope. But it will be me, and I'm excited about that. Me too. I'm really proud of you, Fable. Thank you for everything, especially the great advice. That was really great advice. Maybe you should take some of it too, Grace. Maybe you should. But we all conquer life at our own pace. My personal next Goliath is going to be reapplying my lip gloss. And maybe some blush. I do feel a little pale. Can I borrow a mirror for a bit, Inkeep? Of course, there are some free rooms and mirrors upstairs, right next to the acorn chimes. Just ignore the doors with the do not enter signs. You shouldn't have said that, now I want to check. Please don't. I won't, I'm polite. Or am I? That doesn't fill me with confidence, honestly. Let's hope she won't find all the nightmare creatures you have locked up there. Yeah, let's. Have you ever visited the Twilight Chasm? Not for long enough to capture any creatures. I see. You should get ready for your date, Fable. What are you thinking about, Innkeeper? Oh, you know, innkeeper things. I don't. No, I mean, since I'm not an innkeeper and all. Right. That song you mentioned, the one you started writing on the ship. I know it's not done yet, but how about a little sneak peek? To see if it would make for a good jingle. I don't think it's jingle material, but I don't mind sharing it with you. Just keep in mind that it's a work in progress. Of course. There's a calling on the wind beneath the dock of the quay. I've heard the tales, set the sails, now it's time for me. That sounds like a great opener. Do you like it? It's wonderful, Fable. I can't wait to hear more. Always encourage your friends to follow their dreams. Me too. But it's still a little rough around the edges. I feel like it's missing something. Maybe the next adventure. Maybe. Will you let me know when it's done? Of course. I can't wait to show you the finished version. Thank you, Fable. I'm proud of you. Maybe finally finishing a song? But not running. And also making Kumo a little less edgy. Oh, thank you. Me too. Innkeeper, you ever think about taking your own advice? No. All the time, yes, obviously. Why don't you? I don't know. It's hard, I know, but I promise I believe in you as much as you believe in me. And I know we'll both be okay. Yeah. I would like that. Do you have a date to get ready for? Me too. Well, I've talked a lot today. I'll give you some space. Maybe it's time to stop running. Maybe it's time I open that letter. But is it time to read that letter? It is time to read the letter. I want to know what's in the letter. Oh, that was easy. Guess I've been wanting to for a while. Let's hope for no regrets. My dearest friend, long has it been since we've talked last. Long has it been since everything has been seared away by the cold flames of death. I wish I could still remember our last conversation, but it's a waning memory. I can only imagine how you've enjoyed running away, wishing to forget whatever was between us. Maybe you did, for a brief moment, for these 30 years. If you did, I'm writing this letter to kindly remind you of the good old times. To celebrate our reunion, I invite you to the spectacle of this century, the last day of the astral moon, welcoming the first light of the dying moon, where the realm of Tuat is just a grasp away. there any spirits you would like to remember? Are you afraid what they might tell you? Worry not. I'll be right there. Watch the sky closely, or 35th of Cassiopeia. See you soon, an old friend. That was... I guess you've always been a fan of symbolism. Didn't even leave an address. Very irresponsible. Oh, hello, boy. Pardon? No time! Duck! Now! Huh? What's going on? Are you okay? Do you need help? Healing? Something's coming. Something big. Your next show? What? No! There's no time! Duck! Is the ground... Oh. No. Is everyone alright? I think. Oh, that was a fish claw. Could have been really dangerous. What just happened? Why is there water outside the tavern? I don't know. I'd also like to know the answer to that question. I've got no clue. I was outside by the woods, drafting my newest song, when the ground beneath my feet began to rumble. Not even a minute passed, and it rumbled again. Then a wall of water came rushing towards me. I didn't even dare to wait. I ran immediately, looking for shelter. There's no way I was going to let my hagume get wet. These strings are made of Chebian silk. The body's the ethereal bamboo. It's a rarity. That's the first thing going through your mind? With a giant wave rushing right at you? Of course, this instrument is just as valuable as my hands. And just as versatile. Hi, welcome back, Grace. What the fuck's going on? Is everyone alright? Grace, Dragons, you're alright. I was worried something happened to you. Oh, don't worry. When the wall started rumbling, I hid under a table. And then I watched the water rush by the window. It was like a tsunami, but tsunamis are very rare, if not impossible, so far into the mainland. Alright. It's so strange. Everything seemed to be submerged out there. I wonder what could cause such a cataclysm. It's worrying, to say the least. Is Melly alright? But what about Kumo? Rufus is probably fine. What about Hex? It's definitely too dangerous to go outside. Even the tavern is leaking. Don't worry, it'll withstand. You sure? I'm sure. I've gotten through worse than this. You. It's gotten worse through this. Wouldn't have thought it could withstand this sort of thing. But I'm even more glad it can. It seems to be a simple yet very sturdy tavern after all. Just like you, innkeeper. You flirting with the innkeeper? Huh. Me? Oh. Also, that's beside the point. Is it? I mean, unless... I like to work my body. It helps in a lot of aspects. We get back to the point, please? Yeah, sure. The point. Right, back to the point. Did you see exactly what happened? Not really. I was listening to the whistle of the wind in the treetops, jotting down notes for my next song, when suddenly a horde of silver-crested deer rushed past me. Before they could trample over me, I jumped up on the rock I was sitting on and watched them gallop downhill. And I saw the water break through the canopies, snapping trees in half like they were shashlik skewers. I wasted no second. I turned on my heel, knowing I'd be done for if I waited just a moment longer. Then I was here, and told you to duck. Sounds horrible. Are you alright? Are you hurt? I'm fine, thanks. And anyways, with whom do I have the pleasure? I'm Grace. Nice to meet you, Grace. I'm... Oh my, you're Voyage, aren't you? The silver-tongued Virtuoso. Yes, that would be me. My apologies, I didn't mean to push any boundaries. But I saw you perform at Dropstone Institute's campus one time. I must say, you've pulled on all my heartstrings with your beautiful performance. Oh. You did that? Yes, I was awestruck by what your music could do. It was like magic in its very own way. Music can be very soothing in moments of distress. Were you distressed back then? A little. I don't remember why exactly anymore, but I remember the emotion. I'm not more distressed than I am right now. I hope Hex is safe and well. I'm sure he is. Shoot! Did you see that creature swim by? What? Where? It looked like a red-winged eel. Oh? I haven't seen one of those in ages. Where's its natural habitat? Actually, the Twilight Chasm. Why is it here? Something isn't right. You don't say. I'm afraid you might be correct. I'm also afraid. Very much so. I don't think it's safe to go outside. Of course not. You should all stay for the night. Would that be possible? Of course. Fathom will withstand this. And a bit of company wouldn't hurt. I agree. Thank you, Innkeeper. So, you with the lute. What's your name? Fable. My name is Fable. You play the lute, I mean. Sometimes. I'm still practicing and not all that good with it yet. How about we play together? A song or two to lift our spirits and wait out the catastrophe going on outside. It's very untuned. It goes out of tune really quickly, but I guess that's a lute thing. I gotcha. Show it to me, I'll help you, and then we'll jam until the new dawn rises. Got the achievement Blub Blub, sleep with the fishies. Huh. Damn, climate change got to us. Sorry. But, Act 3, The Twilight Flood. Part 14, Rising Tides. 18th of the Astral Moon. So we finally got to Act 3, and it's been 3 hours. Act 2 took me a total of 8 hours to get through. I'm so for this, hell yeah. But, I'll be saving Act 3, or probably the first part of Act 3, until next time. So until then, see ya.